Several news outlets have confirmed the reports. In this aerial video, officers in uniform are clearly seen standing outside his Calabasas residence.
Your brother talks more shit than anybody else on the planet. They're trying to sue people when people talk shit. There's people out there saying they're fake fights, they're fixed.
You know, for me, in my opinion, I think it's scripted a little bit because, you know, of the weight difference, and, you know, Joshua's a former, you know, champion. And also, you know, he's active.
That was not a boxing match. Jake Paul had a very healthy fear for his life while he was in there. He was running away. He was trying to get distance. Then he was trying to step in to win this contest. And then he's trying to get out of the way so that he doesn't get hurt again.
Once again, Jake Paul is caught in a major controversy that could signal the downfall of his career as a YouTuber turned boxer. New claims are spreading online suggesting that Paul may have planned some of his biggest fights, including the huge Netflix match against Anthony Joshua, with some social media users even saying he and his brother avoided arrest over these alleged actions. Even though promoters and boxing authorities strongly state that professional matches cannot be fixed without serious legal punishment, doubts about Paul being a real competitor have now reached an all-time high. This situation adds another dramatic chapter to a career already marked by trouble, including a past FBI raid at his Calabasas mansion. As these accusations grow louder and his reputation in boxing faces its toughest challenge, yet many people are now wondering if this is truly the end of Jake Paul's rise to fame.
FBI agents have raided the Southern California home of YouTube star Jake Paul. Federal officials say the search was part of an investigation. Wendy Birch is in Calabasas with what we're learning tonight.
Sky 5 was overhead this morning as federal agents entered Jake Paul's Calabasas home located in this gated community off of Mulholland Highway. We counted close to 24 federal agents, some of them in tactical gear, entering the residence. Why they were here and what they were looking for, that remains unclear. The federal search warrant has been sealed and no one is offering.
Federal agents carried out a search at the Southern California residence of YouTube personality Jake Paul. Authorities confirmed the action was linked to an ongoing investigation. Reporter Wendy Birch was present in Calabasas, sharing the latest details this evening. Sky 5 captured footage earlier today showing federal officers entering Jake Paul Calabasas' home inside a gated neighborhood near Mulholland Highway. Nearly 24 agents were seen going inside, with several wearing tactical equipment. The reason for the search and what investigators were seeking has not been revealed. The search warrant remains sealed and officials have not released any further details.
I've always been curious about this because, like, you know, you saw the Askren fight, we saw these fights that he went into. The Fury one obviously didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go, just because I was so convinced that, like, Jake had these fights fixed, and there's a lot of people who talk about the fights being fixed because it's just the way it is.
Yeah, they tell me that too. Like, tell me you're not gonna take a fall against Paul. Everybody says that to me. I'm like, are you kidding me? You gonna pay me all the money in the world?
Many boxing analysts, former fighters, and promoters have doubted the authenticity of Jake Paul fights for years, well before recent arrest rumors appeared. From opponents chosen past their best days to strange fight rhythms, delayed knockdowns, and contracts said to contain limiting terms, critics believe Paul's success feels more manufactured than truly earned.
If that Jake Paul fight was set up.
What happened to me is what was going to happen to him had he dropped those hands. If I say, Rampage, I'm going to pay you $2 million, right? Let this dude beat you, what you going to do? You're going to feel disrespected, number one. Right? That ain't enough money. For me to do that, I got to be willing to walk away for good. Something like 20-something million where I can invest it and fall off in the shit.
Experienced figures in the sport have often said that while Jake Paul attracts huge attention and money to boxing, his fights usually stay away from real danger, which increases doubts that results are meant to protect his image instead of proving true ability. As these concerns continue to grow, every new controversy feels connected and adds strength to the belief that Jake Paul's boxing path has relied more on image power and control, rather than the raw uncertainty that truly defines boxing.
The United States is $1.3 million. Again, that's over the course of the person's entire life. Jake Paul earned 30 times that in one night. People talk about winners and losers, like Jake Paul won and Mike Tyson lost.
Following his victory over Mike Tyson, Jake Paul expressed his
big as the what?
Why was Mike wearing assless chaps though? In that,
did that moment go viral with his cheeks out?
I don't know. It made my stomach hurt.
I was seeing it. Why didn't he have underwear on?
He had a G-string on, is what he had.
I thought he was completely butt naked.
Nah, he looked like a stripper.
But yeah, biggest live gate, 18.1 millions in U.S. boxing history outside of Las Vegas. a phenomenal night. I'm sorry I didn't knock him out, though, guys.
Shut the fuck up. It was crazy when we talked about this. I told him you were going to say some dumb shit. You did the right thing at the end.
In the past, the fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul gained huge attention because of its drama and intensity. Online rumors about a leaked script claiming the Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson match was planned in advance sparked chaos across social media. Supposed audio recordings later surfaced and were said to support claims that key moments of the fight, including Tyson appearing exhausted before Paul knockout win, were staged in the United States.
Paul, fake Paul I call him, against Anthony Joshua. Massive unit, two-time world champ, still got a big punch. I think he's mentally fragile at world level if he goes against the big guns because of the knockout, especially the Dubois knockout when he got fucking splattered. You know what I mean? In round 5, and he got hurt early on and then he got done. And he's not been in the ring for 13 months.
Yeah.
But can you see a world in which Jake Paul is competitive in this fight?
No.
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 How do you see the fight going if AJ takes it serious?
Yep.
After defeating Mike Tyson, Jake Paul shared his view on how the fight went inside the ring. He spoke with confidence and said that he was barely hit or hurt, which showed how strongly he felt he controlled the match from start to finish. Many of his supporters praised these comments and took them as proof that Paul has the ability and confidence to face even legendary fighters. Critics, however, quickly responded by saying the fight lacked excitement and real danger, while also claiming Tyson's performance looked weak and raising doubts about whether the matchup was truly competitive.
The world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gibb. I'm bringing that same energy here. First round KO.
However,
the recent fight against Anthony Joshua follows the same pattern. Many commentators called the matchup ridiculous, pointing out the huge gap in experience, size, and background between Paul and Joshua, with some saying it was more of a show than a real sporting contest. It featured a YouTuber turned boxer with a 12-1 record facing a former two-time world heavyweight champion who has competed against the best fighters throughout his career.
I can say that with pretty certain confidence in that statement, mainly because, as you heard me mention, I know a lot of the people he trains with and I have heard things. Now let's give Jake the benefit of the doubt, right? He's able to restrain from the peer pressure that everyone's putting on him to hop on these certain compounds. Then that would be cool, to train natural, do what he needs to do. But the thing is, his body composition has changed so much, his explosiveness, his power, and yes, that comes with training and time. But I find it very suspicious that for some reason, whenever a drug test gets brought up, for instance, when Fury wanted that in the contract, Jake Paul turns them down. So you should think to yourself, it's probably because he's not natural. Now I want to make it clear, I don't care whether Jake Paul is natural or not. There's so many people that aren't natural that are in combat sports. In fact, Tyron Woodley probably is also not natural. Everyone wants that little edge over their competition, and that's where drugs and anabolics come into play. There's certain compounds that are out there that just increase your explosiveness immensely, your recovery, so that you can stay in the same weight class, which is very important for combat sports, whether that's boxing, UFC, whatever type of combat sport you're doing. So that is why you guys have seen so much improvement from Jake Paul. Of course, he has a great circle around him, great trainers, great coaches, a great regimen, but definitely anabolics play a very fundamental role in that. They allow him to train as hard as he does. They allow him to increase his power and speed. And of course, when you think of those concepts, that's essentially the
At the same time, Jake Paul is stepping into this fight with a confidence level that has surprised even experienced watchers of the sport. Recent commentary has pointed out that he shows strong belief in his ability to meet the challenge and come out with a win.
Anthony Joshua's going to put his whole livelihood on the line for Jake Paul.
No, I don't think he would.
So there you go. It's over when he wants it to be over.
There could be some kind of tacit agreement in the background.
How?
Where they have a handshake.
Then that's illegal. You're going to jail.
Exactly, it's illegal. That's what I was going to say.
So you can't.
Because it's not an exhibition.
No, it's a fight.
So we're
and people are betting on it. Big amounts of money.
So we're watching this. I'm flying out there next week to Miami to watch it. So I'm going out there. He's laughing. I'm getting some old. So it's all good. But it's like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua, 6 foot, was he 6'6"?
About that.
Fucking, what is he, 16? What's 245 pounds?
He can't be a pound over 245.
What's
so
that in stone?
The best part, just on 17 stone or just under.
So Jake lost to Tommy Fury, and that's the one everyone keeps on. Do you think he's improved much since Tommy Fury?
Yeah, but do I think he's improved enough to be competitive? Unless I close my eyes and Josh is completely shot to bits. No.
Yeah, and so is the potential that Jake Paul, like, I know you keep saying no, I know you're right, but is there a world in which you see Jake Paul?
However, Jake Paul's growing confidence in boxing has been met with doubt from many experienced analysts. Critics say that Paul's belief that he can seriously challenge a fighter like Anthony Joshua is not realistic.
The way down to the bow Jake did in round 8. This profile on X posted it anonymously one day before the fight, explaining everything before deleting it today. A fake script has been going around that said Mike Tyson will get KO'd in round 5, but that one was clearly not real or an older script. This will give you goosebumps. I'm just going to read you parts, but if you want to see the full script, I'll show you it at the end. Round 1, opening bell rings and Tyson is showing flashes of his old form, but slower than his prime. Round 2, Tyson comes alive, but his breathing grows heavier. Round 3, Paul gains confidence and lands a sharp right that stuns Tyson. That's exactly what happened. Then round 4 and 5, the fatigue sets in strong for Tyson and Jake is landing a bunch of hits. Round 6, Jake showboats, which is the tongue thing he did here. Then on round 7, Jake plays it safe to not KO Mike. And round 8 wins by decision and bows at the end. This is crazy. Subscribe.
Some observers claim that changes in Paul's body and how he performs have led to suspicion that he may be using performance-enhancing substances.
And not an exhibition or a pre-written show, directly pushing back.
Mike Tyson was 100% scripted. Mike Tyson repeatedly bit his boxing glove throughout the fight. When fights are scripted, fighters do weird gestures to signal that they're hurt. It's very possible Mike Tyson was biting on his glove to tell Jake Paul to calm down. Now, if that's not enough proof that this fight was scripted, in the middle of the fight, Mike Tyson is literally talking to Jake Paul while they are clinching. And in the middle of the fight, the referee told Jake Paul to stop measuring. For those of you who don't know, in boxing terms, measuring means that you're setting up for a knockout by seeing how far your opponent is with jab. The referee literally told Jake Paul to stop measuring, and before the fight, we see Mike Tyson and Jake Paul whispering stuff to each other. Mike Tyson biting on his gloves, whispering secrets to Jake Paul in the middle of the fight, and the referee literally telling Jake Paul to stop measuring during.
Now let us give Jake Paul the benefit of the doubt and say he can resist the pressure from others pushing him toward using certain substances and instead choose to train naturally and do what he needs to do. That would be fine and respectable. The issue, however, is that his body composition has changed so dramatically over time.
Not all proposed fights come to fruition, implying that while the idea excites fans, many logistical and
who say Anthony is ruining his legacy just by taking this fight. Fans don't respect what he's done in the sport already. He's an Olympic gold medalist, two-time unified heavyweight champion of the world. I sort of sympathize with him because I feel like if he doesn't beat him quicker than he beat Francis, people are just going to write it off. I'll ask you bluntly, have there been any discussions about there's an agreement, there's a secret contract? Have any of those discussions happened regarding this fight? It's an 8-round professional fight. AJ wouldn't have taken it if that was the stance it had to be, if it was an exhibition, if it was you've got to hold him up for 8 rounds. It wouldn't suit Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is going in there to knock out Jake Paul.
Sorry, just to silence all the doubters here, you know, a lot of people saying this can't be real, you know, Anthony Joshua going in there, it must be an exhibition, or Anthony Joshua's going to it's going to be choreographed and Anthony's going to carry him through a couple of rounds. I know Anthony Joshua, just to silence all those doubters, he's going to go in there to do a job, right?
It's 100% real. It's 100% real. People asking why is it 8 rounds, not 10? Because I don't think it goes past the first round. So it's, you know, regardless, it's quite irrelevant. I think he steps across the ring and knocks him out, you know, but we're in for a bit of fun and everyone's going to be tuning in.
It might not be fun for Jake Paul. I mean, it's serious entertainment, is it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, look, I agree with you. I accept Jake Paul is absolutely mental for doing this, and I don't think he quite realises. I think he's got people around him who actually are saying, you know, Anthony Joshua's chinny. He said it in interviews. It's quite wild, but you know, if that's the world he wants to live in, he'll find out on December 19th.
And Frank, to finish with, the plan is still sometime in 2026, AJ against Tyson Fury, and Turki Al-Sheikh's working on that, is he?
That's the fight we want to make. That's the fight we want to see. Look, we're all guilty of doing a lot of talking over the years and that not happening. So I don't want to talk too much, but that is definitely what we want to see in 2026. It's one of the biggest fights in the sport.
Despite all the controversy, people are still placing real money on this fight. The betting activity has now become another part of the debate surrounding the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua event.
Scripted, isn't it? I'm like, no. One, that's illegal. I mean, this is a professional contest. Two, we would never sign up to anything that's going to make AJ look bad or devalue him, lose rounds, go loads of rounds.
Do you think there's any world in which AJ pulls back, though?
No, absolutely. He couldn't do that as a fighter. He would be incapable of going in there and holding back. I mean, I think the only thing that's a bit harsh is if Anthony Joshua doesn't knock him out in the first round, he should be ashamed of himself. Like, right, give us 2, like, or 3. Because if Jake does move, he can look after himself. It's not like he's just going to get 1.
Our thoughts in the comments below.